I'm Jimi Payne, bringing the pain in Jimmy's Corner for NinersLive.net. Welcome to the show, 49ers faithful. So, in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the secondary's performance versus the Denver Broncos. Give a little assessment of the good and the bad. So, let's start out with the corners. Rashad Robinson again struggled versus the Broncos. Unlike last week, he didn't have an interception to redeem himself. Versus the Broncos, he allowed numerous receptions, and he also missed tackles. Again, he also missed another tackle on third down that led to the Broncos getting a first down. And also, he had a pass interference penalty that put the Broncos at the 1 yard line, and they then scored soon after that. So Rashad definitely has to hone in on his technique. I like his aggressive demeanor, but he has to hone in on his technique. His aggressiveness at times allows him to miss easy tackles that he should make, and it's allowing teams to convert for first downs, and that is not good. And this defense cannot be an elite defense with players playing like that. On to Dante Johnson, who had his first action of the season. He played well in his little snaps that he got. He was targeted one time. He didn't allow a reception, and he had really good coverage on the receiver. So that's a positive sign for him. Keith Reeser, again, disappointing performance. Didn't really show anything that tells you that he's pushing to be a starter. Allowed easy receptions again. So if the season started, Rashad Robinson, Dante Johnson are the two starting corners for the San Francisco 49ers. Asa Jackson, number 31, he saw extended playing time in the game, and he did not impress. He allowed numerous receptions, and he also allowed a touchdown reception where he didn't have tight coverage. The nickel backs didn't really see a lot of action because the Broncos ran a lot of double tight end sets. So the 49ers on defense were in base defense, so the nickel cornerbacks weren't really seeing a lot of action. So let's talk about the rookies. Ahkello Witherspoon saw action, didn't have many passes thrown his way, and he didn't allow anything deep, which is good. Adrian Colbert recorded 3 tackles. He looked solid. Good debut from the U. And then let's move on to the diamond in the rough, Lorenzo Jerome, who has impressed mightily, filling in for Jimmy Ward. He was really close to interception. He recorded the first tackle of the game. It was a quick swing pass to the flat, and he came down and bam, laid the lumber. It's fun to watch him play. He said that he's not intimidated by the play in the NFL. He looks at home. The 49ers really lucked up with him and look for him to keep impressing. He definitely will be on the roster for the 2017 season. So, shout-outs to John Lynch for finding that diamond in the rough. Don Jones, the special team ace, he made some really good tackles in the run game. For this new team, Kyle Shanahan has definitely said, for the players, the 49ers this season don't have the luxury to have players that are just special team players. So guys on this team are going to have to contribute on offense, defense, and on special teams. So some of these guys that the 49ers brought in as special team aces might not make the team because there is a rookie or another player that contributes more on offense or defense, and then they'll just plug him in on special teams because the 49ers are trying to build a core and a foundation leaning forward. So, on to the safeties. Now, on to the good stuff, the part that I'm really excited to talk about right now. Our two strong safeties, Eric Reed and Jaquizzi Tart, look at home at their new box safety position. It is awesome. Eric Reed was flying around. He looked like the Pro Bowl player that he can be, flying around, hitting tackles, solid tackles. He had tackles in the passing game, tackles in the run game, and he also had tight coverage on a tight end. So it was really fun to see Eric play. He looks at home in this defense. He says he loves playing this position. Jaquisi Tart, heat-seeking missile. He was flying around. He also had a sack, which came on third down that ended the drive. It was awesome to see him play. So I know you 49ers fans were excited to see those two guys out there. Kyle Shanahan said that Jimmy Ward should be back soon, so really excited to see him. It's going to be fun to see Jimmy Ward, Eric Reed, Lorenzo Jerome, Jaquisi Tart. Oh man, I see positive things coming out of those guys and a lot of hard hits and interceptions. So, in closing, we're going to lead things into expectations leading into the game against the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be a big test for the secondary because the Vikings have a really, really capable wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. He can tear a defense apart. So Rashad Robinson is going to have to be on his P's and his Q's in this game. Let's see maybe if the 49ers put Dante Johnson on him. But definitely this is going to be a really big measuring stick for the defensive staff. Jeff Hafley is going to be really looking at the tape after this game to see who the top guys are and who are going to be the main contributors heading into the 2017 season. The safeties are going to have their hands full with Kyle Rudolph. So I think the safeties are going to do well. I think at first Rashad, because he's been aggressive, is going to maybe struggle at first. The Vikings might go at him like the Broncos and the Chiefs tested him early. So let's see how this plays out. I'm Jimi Payne, signing out. Jimmy's Corner, NinersLive.net. See you next week, guys.